Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm again going to talk about marijuana. If states are going to legalize weed, the least they can do is order warning labels, and I'll put a link to this article in the description for the video. So I did a live show a couple of weeks ago with Dr. Robert Sanchez, and we talked about this, and I think that the sort of theory behind that particular episode was, well, maybe we should just ban marijuana, and obviously it was said a little tongue-in-cheek, because obviously, first of all, I don't think we should ban it. We tried that with alcohol and it simply didn't work. And obviously, when marijuana was illegal, people were buying it on the streets anyway. So that's not the answer. But this might be. If you buy cigarettes anywhere in America, the pack will include a dire warning that smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, and emphysema. Smoking pot may do the same, and I put an article, a video about that a couple of weeks ago. But only 3 states of 24 where recreational cannabis is legal require similar warnings about cannabis products on their packaging. New York warns against smoking weed when breastfeeding, but Oregon doesn't. Massachusetts warns against driving under the influence of cannabis, but Missouri doesn't. If we're to have a national market for legal cannabis products, and we're getting close, we need a thorough, federally required, prominent warning label that states can use for all weed products, even if they're not federally sanctioned. A mandated warning would require congressional action, but that shouldn't stand in the way of Food and Drug Administration suggesting language. Here's a biggie. Only 2 states, New Jersey and Montana, require warnings about the risk of psychosis. Okay, these are the kinds of issues that we're seeing. Okay? Almost all states require warnings about the risk for drivers, but 3 jurisdictions, Missouri, Minnesota, and DC, don't. Only 4 states, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, and Washington, require warnings about the physical effects of smoking itself, i.e., lung cancer. States have to have an incentive to be lax about warnings. Their lawmakers are lured by the prospect of sin tax revenue that cannabis sales can bring and have championed legalization. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this as well, right? I mean, why did the states get into the weed business even though it was still, illegal under federal law? Well, because they wanted the money. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's about money. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have access to marijuana. I mean, we live in a free society for the most part, and I'm not looking to people how to live their lives. But there has to be some type of line in the sand. We have to do something to protect the public at large, right? I think one of the things they talked about with Dr. Sanchez, it's a bit like alcohol, right? We've regulated, when you get a container of booze, right, how much alcohol can actually be in there. Why can't we do the same with marijuana? Okay, we have been inundated with calls from families, and the call is usually with the parents for young adults, right, that are dealing with serious psychosis, clinically challenging cases because they're using marijuana. Okay, and as I've said before, I was a child of the 80s growing up in the United Kingdom. The marijuana of today is not the marijuana of the 80s that my friends used, that I saw. It's different, and frankly, it's dangerous. And we have to do something, right? We're not going to ban it, but there has to be some regulation, some federally mandated regulation, so that the weed you buy in Florida is under the same regulations the weed you buy in Montana or Missouri or Oklahoma or wherever you happen to live. You get the idea. So I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are. What kind of regulation, if any, should we impose on marijuana? Let me know your thoughts. And if you're a family out there who's dealing with a loved one who's experiencing psychosis, we'd like to hear from you. Let's talk about what options may or may not be available to you, both legal and non-legal, and sometimes a combination of both. If there's an issue going on in your family, I've not made you a video, or I haven't made a video about that issue, let me know. I'll make you a video, because these videos that I make, they're about giving you information, so you can decide if you even want to have a conversation with us. So let me know. Please post in the comments. And if you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. They tell me it helps with the algorithm, and the goal here is to get this information that I give away for free to as many people as possible, because, well, the mission of the firm here is to save families, and that means we got to get it out in front of people. So please give me the thumbs up. And if you want more of this content that I make for you every day, please subscribe to the channel. And with that said, thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.